It is I, Joel, when I'm in the bedroom putting on a show. Your mother and both your sisters know that Stud Muffin's gonna pick his handsome ass up and go unless we turn on Kayfabe Talk Radio.
You are listening to Kayfabe Talk Radio.
And welcome everyone to a special edition of KTR. We will eventually be joined by Mr. Bonesaw, but I am Eric the Red Journal along with, once again,
making his comeback, baby! Finally! The JR has come back to KTR!
If you smell
the bullshit I'm cooking. Yeah! Hey guys! Thank you, Eric, for having me back. You know, I looked at it this morning. Do you know I haven't been on the show since November of 2017?
Wait, what? No.
I swear to God.
No, it's not. No. KTR 100 you were on, motherfucker.
That's true. Well, alright, doesn't matter. I was here, and guys, it feels so good to be back home where it all started. I'm back on here with my brother. I love the fact that Patty will be on here in a minute, Mr. Bonesaw, and I gotta tell you, man, it's been a wild fucking time. You had an amazing experience during WrestleMania week that you were telling me off air, and I gotta tell you, man, I'm jealous of your whole week, but my question is, are you going to try, I mean, I don't know if you get the time off or not, but are you going to try and do that wrestling 80s con that's like right in your backyard?
Are you talking about, not the big event? There's another one that's coming.
Yeah, it's got Jake, and it's got Steamboat, and it's got, like every 80s wrestler that they're digging up from, and it's actually called 80s Wrestling Con.
80s Wrestling Con, let me see. Wow, that is actually not far away.
I know.
Shit, I didn't realize that. April 27th. Since it's so close and, like, you know, WrestleMania week / WrestleCon drains my pocket, probably not. Oh, dude, if I tell you how much I spent, which I'm not going to tell you on air.
No.
I tell you how much I spent, you'll be like, well, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably not gonna do that. If it was like a month or two away, I'd be like, yeah, maybe. But here, nah.
Well, the problem is, you've met everybody on that show at least twice.
I want to look at this lineup at least. I at least want to see.
It's a good lineup. I think Ming's gonna be there. Now, I would love to meet Haku.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you this because I'm sure you don't know, but you know he was in the when they did the G1 card for Ring of Honor Japan in the Garden. Him and Muta were in the Battle Royal. They did like a Battle Royal between Ring of Honor and Japan guys, and Haku comes out. I'm like, I marked out. I was like, dude, like, if you would have told me that I would see Haku and Great Muta not only live but in the Garden nonetheless, I'd be like, yeah, get the fuck out of here.
See, I had the privilege of seeing the Great Muta in person twice here in Charleston. The first time he wrestled, he was in a program with Sting, and the second time he was in a program with the lampshade pole. Oh, I mean Luger. Sorry.
A new KTR rule. Once, whenever Pat's on, we're not after watching that Dark Side of the Ring. We're not allowed to mention the lampshade pole.
I heard about that, man. I am dying to see these fucking shows. My TiVo is set to record them, and I cannot wait. I want to see it just because of the banter between Corny and Russo, because I hear it's fucking legendary.
I love the fact you're gonna love about that is it goes from, hey, this is the Montreal Screwjob, and this is a huge wrestling superstar that made us a lot of money, and then it just goes into, well, here's the writers who still have eat fucking like 23 years later.
Oh God, I swear to God, and the thing is, I've seen shows where they've both been on the show together, and they can work together. I mean, I've seen them put their shit aside for the professionality of the business and work together. However, you put Santino and Corny in the same room, and it's chaos. It makes me wonder: does Cornette and Russo have an underlying bit of respect for one another?
I hate the fact that you're kind of implicating, hey, maybe it's a work.
No! It's not a work. That's a shoot. That's a fucking shoot. That's a major fucking shoot, because holy fucking shit, I've seen it.
Yeah.
Bullshit! I know that's a fucking shoot. But the thing is, Cornette's right. Russo doesn't know the first fucking thing about wrestling. He doesn't know shit about it. Period. I've listened to his shoot interviews. That's just Russo talking, and I'm like, who the fuck is this retard? How the hell did he have a picture of Vince fucking a whole herd of goats? Is that what it was?
They had him and Patterson both together. Fucking
Patterson. God damn. I was watching a thing, and it was Jim Duggan was sitting there doing a thing with Corny, and on YouTube, and it was this thing, and he was talking about shit that went down behind the scenes, back in the day. And he didn't mention the wrestler's name. Of course, we all know it was Lombardi. But he said that one of the, when they were lining up at the hotel to check in, right?
Yeah.
That when it came to Lombardi, he said, just 2 beds, 1 room. And Patterson gets up behind him and goes, 1 bed, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
And you're like, yes, yeah. It's like, hey, it's to each their own, but yeah.
Shit.
Oh God. Yeah, it's some shit. No, he doesn't say Lombardi, but everybody fucking knows. So wasn't him and Downtown Bruno or Whippleman, weren't they like a married couple at one time?
Downtown Bruno. Yeah, probably. I don't know. I know it was always like Lombardi. It was definitely Patterson and Lombardi. They were always like rumored to be.
Let me ask your opinion on something, my brother, because I'm curious. First of all, AEW, All Elite Wrestling, is taking over the world. It's
starting to.
It's starting to, and I really think they're gonna. I really think they're gonna be the one that's gonna rise up and be the solid competition for Vince. But beyond that, what do you think about Dustin taking on Cody?
Okay, here, I'm glad you're bringing this up, because and first off, before I get into this, I just want to say, everyone that's listening, please, whenever you get a chance, guys, go back and listen to, it was the KTR, it was the first episode of KTR from 2018. I will get the exact, I think it was 94, episode 94 of KTR. We talked about 3 things that we felt like were going to happen, and one of the things was that I was kind of like brushing off, like, okay, maybe, but Lee Earls is going, Cody's going to do big things, not even with Ring of Honor or Japan. He's going to do big things on his own, and I'm like, thinking like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, maybe. And then next thing you know, it's, oh, yeah, here comes AEW. But yeah, good call on that one. Very good call on that one. But
well,
anyway,
thank you.
But Dustin, and
well, real quick, before we get going, I want to say, can I say something personal? Today is my 14th wedding anniversary to my lovely wife Stacy, and I want to wish her, I love her so much, baby, happy anniversary. You're my love, you're my life, you're the mother of my 2 babies, and I could not be happier that you're in my life. Thank you.
Very nice. And
okay.
Yes,
but
she's in the room, isn't she?
She's right here. Yeah, she's right behind me.
Hi, Stacy.
God dang it, I love you. Oh God.
All right, and now with that said, we got to bring on Bonesaw.
Get him out here.
All right, now we're joined officially with Mr. Bonesaw. So now we have the 3-man booth back again.
Bonesaw is ready. Mr. Bonesaw.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
All right,
yes,
so to fill you in,
yes,
Pat, the first thing the first thing we really were just about to bring up was your thoughts on Dustin in AEW.
I think it's a really good idea. To be honest, he's done everything he had to do in WWE. They're not going to use him for much of anything. What was the last time they really used him? There was they used him for remember when they paired him? They tried doing some stupid feud with him and R-Truth.
Yeah.
They had him.
Yeah.
They didn't even really do that.
Wasn't he on Raw like 2 weeks ago?
And I don't even remember them going all fully through with that.
I haven't seen him on Raw in like ages. I don't know.
I don't know. They said something about he was just on Raw 2 weeks ago, but that doesn't matter if he's not doing anything. If he's just backstage going rah, 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 like a guy with Tourette's, then no one gives a shit. You know what I mean? They made him a laughable character.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really for him to do in WWE anymore. And the thing is, like, Goldust ran its course, and you can't be as edgy with that character as you were in, like, 1994. So it's there's no fucking point of him being around if it's just like, okay, yeah, like you said, if he's just going back there, walking around with, like, a goofball on Tourette's, like, it doesn't fucking matter. It's just, they have no direction for him. He's already 50. And the thing is, it's like people are shitting on this, like, oh yeah, they really changed the world, alright? 2 guys that one is past his prime and the other one is overrated. It's like, well, one is not that overrated if you consider the fact that he has the talent to back up. And second, Goldust or Dustin, well, why not just do this? Because he's not going to be with Russell forever. He's probably going to retire after this. Who knows? I mean, this is his way of going out, is to feud with his brother. And who the fuck wouldn't want that any better for a guy that's that talented?
Damn straight. I mean, plus, not to mention the fact that, we've seen brothers wrestle each other before, and it's going to be, they know exactly how far to push each other. They know they can be stiff or snug with each other. They know they can go. Plus, they're both the sons of Dusty fucking Rhodes. It's going to be a wrestling match. It's going to be unbelievable. I can't wait to watch this. I am a fan. I ship it. I think it's going to be unfucking believable. I can't believe Dustin's already 50.
I can't believe it either. It's just
my thing with it is the problem is the fandoms for AEW. I think they're not going to appreciate it as much. It's weird. It's like if this match had happened in WWE, I think the fandom would be. This seems like more of a match that should have happened a decade ago. This is a match that by all means WWE should have done. They never did. they teased this. I don't remember them doing a full-on blow-off between the brothers. I remember they were doing the whole Stardust versus Goldust gimmick for a while. They never truly had this type of blow-off between them, where brother versus brother, and this is the sort of match, and I think Eric said this to me, where you probably should have had this a decade ago when Dusty was still alive.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that'd have been awesome.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, they did do this. They did do this, like, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but they did do this. They did do this a couple years ago when Cody was still with the company. They did do Stars vs. Goldust on a Fastlane pay-per-view, and yes, I believe Dusty was still alive at the time. But again, it's a thing where no one remembers it because the feud was so underwhelming on a pay-per-view where they just treat it like, yeah, whatever, like, yeah, fuck it. Like, there was no, like, oomph or anything to it. And it's the thing is,
You know what it was? They didn't build it up like Owen and Brett. Remember Owen and Brett in 92, 93? When they were just starting to do all that shit? 94, I think. And then, of course, the big blow-off was the cage match at the to quote Brett, at the SummerSlam.
Owen versus Brett at WrestleMania 10 was the exact reason why I refuse to believe when people say WrestleMania 10 was one of the worst ones of all time. No, it fucking wasn't.
People say that?
Yeah, people will say, "Oh yeah, WrestleMania 10 was bad." Oh no, you had Brett versus you had fucking Brett versus Owen. You had Shawn and Razor, of course. As a whole, like, yeah, there was a lot of wonky ones. Like, I enjoyed Macho Man and Crush, but there was a lot of good. Yeah. And the main thing that I remember was Owen and Brett does their match, and they start off the show really hot. And the thing is, like you said, SummerSlam '94, the cage match, like, those matches I remember very fondly watching on, like, VHS. And Brett versus Owen, to me, yeah, Cody and Goldust, or Cody and Dustin, I'm sorry, shouldn't, we'll never get to that point, but they shouldn't use that as a reason to be like, oh yeah, let's try to top him. Let's just do your own thing, tell your own story, of course, which they will, and it'll be and I'm confident it'll be a fucking good match. If Stephen Amell and Christopher Daniels were able to get a really good match back in September, this is going to be better.
Yeah, two people with no chemistry. I mean, they have chemistry, but I mean, they don't have the
brotherhood thing.
Right, exactly. And the thing about Stephen Amell wants to be there. You know what I mean? Like, he wanted to do that.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's going to want to be in AEW and do matches as well.
Yeah, he does. And they just announced, I'm sure you guys know by now, but I'm sure you saw that Arrow is ending.
Yes, I saw that.
Canceled.
I mean, and so with Arrow ending, I could see Stephen Amell taking and doing that. I could totally see that.
Yeah, it's for the best. I mean, the thing is with Arrow, and I know we're predominantly a wrestling podcast here, but the thing is, it's like with Arrow, that show I felt like it's ran its course, and I kind of stopped watching midway into the season just because it's like, for me, put the time shit aside, I was losing an interest because it felt like the same shit every week, Oh yeah, he's out of prison now. He's in prison. Oh, he's out of prison. Oh, okay, now, yeah, alright, so now, yeah, he's with the system. He's with the system. It's like, okay, we get it. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's repeat. I felt like it was on repeat, so then it was just like, alright, I'm just gonna wait till it's on Netflix. Like, I'm literally waiting till, like, the end of May to just be like, okay, now I'll binge watch it.
Okay, can I just say something? If fucking Daredevil was canceled, I don't think there's no reason that Arrow should be on either.
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
I mean, Flash, I would say keep on for a little bit.
Well,
I'll disagree with.
Well, Bonesaw, you know why they canceled all those shows, right?
Yeah, because they want to move them over to, like, they want to reboot them on.
They want to reboot them on the Disney, yeah, which is bullshit, if you ask me. Because this is why, and I found out later, this is why they're canceling all the DC shows, because DC has that streaming service now, and they want to reboot these shows. So we're going to get a reboot with all new fucked up actors that's going to be like, well, motherfucker, why? You know?
No, but you know what the fucked up part is you're going to have to, like... It's getting to the point where everything is going to be like, you're not going to get television anymore. You're going to have instead of having like cable, you're going to have a bunch of fucking streaming services that are all begging you for like $9.99. So you want to watch wrestling, you got to pay $9.99. You want to watch a movie, you're going to have to pay $9.99. So rather than having like Netflix and because I have a couple different streaming services, but it's like and it adds up. It's like why the fuck pay for cable if I have all these internet streaming services that I'm using to watch shit?
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, listen, boys, I gotta run. I love you guys. Have me on next week when I'm not as hectic, and I will be on for the whole show. Okay?
Sounds good.
All right, I love you. Bye, guys.
Much love, man.
Bye.
Yep. Well, JRLs, everyone. Yeah. Well, yeah. That was a hell froze over on that one. Oh man! You say his name 3 times and he appeared.
Was he like Candyman?
Beach Ball Batista.
Oh.
Give me what I want.
Eats too Candyman. Eats too many Candyman.
Give me what I want.
Give me what I want. That's all I want.
Give me what I want. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. That's what I want. Oh man. But so everyone listening, we will get into the whole our experience of G1 because the whole we pretty much made it a point where since there was enough shit to cover that we were like, fuck it, this whole month we're just going to talk about our entire experience from WrestleMania week. But before we do, I can't let this go. I just want to talk about it while it's still kind of fresh in our heads. You want to point out the obvious of Mr. Rogers, or Bray Rogers, I should say?
I didn't think the segment was retarded.
I didn't think it was retarded either, but...
I didn't think it was retarded. I didn't think it was like a typical WWE, segment or vignette. I thought it has a lot of potential if they do certain things right. I mean, it's the first time we're seeing it, so I'm not going to shit all over it immediately. But it does kind of remind me of them trying to go, yeah, we, how they originally, when Matt Hardy started doing the broken gimmick, if WWE immediately tried to, do their own, version of the, final deletion, where they had the New Day and Wyatt's feuding in the fucking, the Wyatt compound. Like this is the vibe I'm getting. It's like WWE going, yeah, we don't need Matt Hardy. We're gonna do our own creepy vignette that's gonna get over. And I'm like, I'm watching it and I'm like,
Look, I will say, and everybody and their grandmother's like, what the fuck did they do? What did they do? He's ruined. Let it fucking happen. It's one vignette. People judge way too fucking quick. It's the same. It's the same exact scenario where it's just wait and see. We could determine down the line. Yeah, they fucked him over. But right now, it's like, dude, like he had this thing where, and I watched this thing a couple times to really like pay attention to it. He has this thing where he has two gloves on, and one's his hurt and one's his heal. And when he's doing that fucking the chainsaw thing where he chains off the fucking cardboard head of himself. He has the glove that says hurt next to his ear, and he's talking to it. So there's a dimension here that they're adding to him that's going to be very, like, different from what he used to be. He's not this whole, okay, yeah, I turned into this now. People are looking at that the wrong way. He's very much still a fucking creepy bastard.
Yeah, I was looking at it, and there's certain dimensions of it, and he's kind of giving me the best way I could describe it is he's coming off like a creepy baby. Like the best way I could really. Like, the closest thing I can really say to, like, his character change is when Mankind went from being really creepy to being, like, more comedy-based. So it's like, it's the same character, but it's just a different dimension of him. He's probably, you know what could be really cool? He starts to like lose it and like going into like a split personality where he's, you know, like it is kind of giving me the Three Faces of Foley kind of feeling. I was thinking. I was thinking of. And I was telling you about this. If they were going to do that, have him be a babyface for a while, and then have him slowly reveal that he's not alright. He's a fucking nutcase. And he's like, he's like doing these vignettes and have it reveal like he's like kidnapping kids and brainwashing them. He's like tying up the parents, and they're like in the background of the shows, or another wrestler goes to see what the hell's going on, and they freak out because of all the parents are like freaking out and crying in the background. Like have it be slowly revealed that he hasn't changed, and then my idea. And I'm playing fantasy booker here, so sorry, people. I think it would be a great idea if they did this whole, like within like a 3 to 6 month range where you lay everything out, and then you have him feud with Braun Strowman, because it personally, I think it would make the most sense of that. If he was going to feud with anyone, that would be the guy, because you could, even AJ Styles, because you know what, AJ would make a sense too, because you could have a situation where Bray kidnaps, or he goes to his house, and AJ notices. This is even better. Just imagine. You have AJ. He's feuding with AJ, and he's doing like regular matches with him. And AJ wins, and Bray gets pissed, and he just snaps, and he does a segment while AJ's in the ring, and AJ's just like kind of like laughing at the puppets, and then he realizes, hey, wait, that's my house. and he fucking just rushes out of the arena, and you just see him like getting into a car and like driving off to like go fight Bray, and then he like kicks the door into his own house. His like wife is tied up, and all his kids are gone.
I mean, people are gonna go, fuck fantasy booking. You know they're not gonna do it. I mean, they're not gonna do it, but at the same time, it's fuck. We're pointing out that this character, people can make this character fucking work.
Yeah, I mean, you can make just about anything work. I mean, obviously, you can't make it work with like stupid fucking names, like the Viking experience.
Oh, that's already done.
They've already changed. They've already fucking changed. They changed it through what, the Viking Raiders.
Yeah, it's a little bit better. I mean, that's what people were
They
suggesting.
could have called them the Norse Raiders. They have no fucking, like, there's not 1 ounce of, like, you didn't need to directly call them fucking Vikings. You could have called them Norse. It would be a little bit, more subtle, and you're not outright going, oh, they're going to be coming out with spears. Could have just called them Hanson and Rowe. It's a fucking. They could just say it's like a heritage thing. They're Scandinavian or something. Who the fuck knows? Okay. We're gonna call them Ivar and Eric.
I think the real reason why they changed the names, the real reason is Vince looks at them and he goes, okay, so the old one's name is Rowe, and he has a beard, so that's too close to Rowan. And the other one's name is Hanson, who has long hair and a beard, that's too close to Harper. I guarantee you that's why. That is the real reason why the personal names changed. Which, again, if you're gonna name him Eric, that's still not fucking good, because it's still Eric Rowan.
Yeah, exactly. It's stupid.
Alright, that...
I know originally... this would have been even worse. Did you hear what they originally called them?
What?
The Berserkers.
Where's John Nord? Or Jim Nord, whatever his name was. Where's the Brody ripoff? Alright, so I know we're talking good about this character, but a good meme is a good meme. I don't know what made me make this, but you'll get a kick out of it. Synopsis of potential? I don't know.
Oh my god. I love I was watching the video and I was reading the comments, and someone actually said, "Oh, so that's what happened to Bo Dallas. He fused.
Bro,
he did a fusion with Bray.
He looks more like him than ever. If this was like a brother thing and they were doing this creepy shit, like, yo, that's dope.
Oh my god. Imagine if they did it like the Pee-wee's Playhouse, where he comes in and he has like different like characters that come on, like just imagine like Bo Dallas is the cowboy.
Hey, Curtis Axel is what the fuck?
Was it mailman or something?
Yeah, Curtis Axel's the fucking mailman.
Oh, god damn it. See, we should get fucking hired by WWE. We have better ideas than they do.
Oh, man. But, yeah, so... Again, but listen, I watched Raw throughout the way out, and I'm just gonna say, it's the first Raw without the shake-up. And overall, I feel like there really is a little bit of a change in the show just by them putting on so many of the good talent on Raw. Like, you know, like, they had, like, Ray versus Joe versus AJ, and the thing was, they were doing this thing where it's like, there were 3 triple threat matches, and the winner of each one fought each other, and the winner of those goes to fight Seth at Money in the Bank next month, and the first match was Joe, Ray, and AJ, and they had a dope match. Like, dope match. Like, it was really good. AJ won that one, and the next one was Miz, Corbin, and Drew, which was... I loved the Miz. We both loved the Miz, but... and fucking Barback, Corbin wound up winning that. But AJ wound up beating Corbin later in the night. So, they're already giving you Seth versus AJ, which the reason for that is because... report has it that they're low on ticket sales for Money in the Bank, so they figured let's give the dream match now to boost some sales up. Which, fine, whatever. I'm all for that because these fucking B pay-per-views, they don't.
Yeah, but that's a dream match that should be that should be a card review for like WrestleMania.
I agree, but again, you gotta. You gotta give
ticket sales. You make it okay, Eric. You make the majority of the money through TV deals.
I understand that, but at the same time, why not fucking just try to get some fucking attention on like a Money in the Bank pay-per-view? Like,
there's other guys. Why don't you give them? Okay, so why don't you do Samoa Joe?
Nah.
You could,
he's the U.S. champion.
Huh?
He's the U.S. champion.
You could do a feud between the U.S. champion and they've fucking done it. They've done it before.
I understand that, but I have no. They've done Seth versus Joe already, and it's just.
All right, who else was in that match? Ray.
Yeah, Ray and him would have been cool. But...
You've done nothing with Ray. Why don't you give Ray the fucking... That would boost ratings, too.
Yeah. I don't know. I get where you're coming from, that they could have saved that for a bigger pay-per-view, but at the same time...
Dude, save it for fucking SummerSlam! Save it for SummerSlam, then!
I don't mind it. I'm okay with it.
It's fucking stupid. It's like, you're okay with it. You're gonna waste it. Look, Money in the Bank is a fucking B pay-per-view.
It's the honorary fifth, though.
I know it's the honorary fifth major pay-per-view. It hasn't been, Eric, in a very long time. It hasn't. To me personally, I think you save it for the bigger pay-per-views that you're gonna make. You know you're gonna make the most amount of money to boost your product. You're only gonna make a certain amount of money from Money in the Bank. You're not making this. You're not gonna make the same amount of money that you would out of like WrestleMania or SummerSlam at a Money in the Bank. Sorry. So wouldn't you want to boost the amount of money that you can possibly make? Unless they just don't give a shit. Like, they know they're going to make a set amount of money, so they don't just give a shit at like a WrestleMania or SummerSlam.
At the same time, too, look what is 6 days after Money in the Bank.
Oh, what is 6 days after Money in the Bank?
Double or Nothing.
Oh.
Now you get my point?
Okay.
So that's why I'm okay with it.
Where is Double or Nothing?
Vegas.
Oh.
Yeah, so, and that card is stacked.
Look, I've heard basically nothing. I've heard bits and pieces. Do they know, like, I know Cody versus Dustin, but what's the rest of the matches on that card.
Lucha Brothers against the Young Bucks for the AAA tag titles. Young Bucks have the AAA tag titles.
Okay.
Pac versus Hangman.
Oh, that's good. Is Pac going to actually be in the country because of... he was announced for a ton of shit of WrestleMania weekend, and he had visa problems.
Yeah, I tell you, maybe that's why everybody and their grandmother fucking did like fucking 5 matches in 2 hours, because you had him with the visa problems, you had other peoples that had to cancel, and then you had Jimmy Havoc get hurt.
Yeah, you know what I found out? Like, did I ever explain that, what match he got hurt in? He
think it had
sliced his arm open during that MLW match with him and Tom Lawler.
But the thing was, he had that match with Tom Lawler, and then immediately went over to Raw where he wrestled Sami Callihan.
I think when he went back to MLW, they noticed that his arm wasn't getting any better. Like, it was still gashed open, so the doctors told him he needed to... I think MLW has their own doctors.
No, but the thing was...
They're actually starting to get...
Yeah, he did that match, and then they went over to Rawway and wrestled, and I gotta go back and watch that match again with him and Callahan, because I'm pretty sure he had a gash just as bad there, so which means he did one match, got fucked up, did that match, and got fucked up even worse. Which, again, if you're doing 2 death matches within
back to back,
4 hours of each other, yeah, you're gonna fucking get hurt. So
they said they basically told him he should probably, rest for a bit, because the more damage, damage and shit that could happen, it could get infected. The wound, I think they said the wound looked infected or something, and rather than, do more damage to himself and, get sick and then miss like months of booking, just like take a couple days. Is it, that's what I read when I was like looking it up.
Right.
And that seems like the logical answer, because I looked at his like Twitter and everything. It wasn't like he was like majorly injured. I just think at that time he took two vicious cuts and shit, and he had to have a couple days to like recover.
Shit. Well, he could wind up. I'm sure he'll be good to go by Double or Nothing. He's not announced for a match yet, but they're doing another over the budget battle royal as well. And some of the names announced in there, like I know a good part of them from like PWG and other indies, and a lot of them you'll know. You got Sonny Kiss, who is an East Coast Jersey guy, who's been fucking killing it. Kip Sabian, Brandon Cutler, I know from PWG, Ace Romero, Glacier, Brian Pillman Jr., someone by the name of Sunny Days, never heard of, MJF, Joey Janela, and a few others to be announced. Yeah, then the Cody Dustin match we already mentioned. And then we have a triple threat women's match with Kylie Ray, Dr. Britt Baker, and Nyla Rose. Hangman and Pac, like I mentioned. SCU versus Sema, who's a very good Japanese talent. I've seen him in Dragon Gate, and 2 partners of his choice. And then you have Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho in the main event.
They've been teasing that for a while.
again, the card itself is not by any means, I'll be honest, it's not a, big time arena, big time, if you take out like two or three of these matches, it looks like a solid like PWG card or a solid, it looks like a pretty solid PWG card.
Like the all-in card that you had last year.
But at the same time, 2019, if 2019 so far has proven anything, this is the year for the real shake-up, and not the whole WWE, we're gonna shake things up. It's the shake-up of the business. AEW we cannot deny that this actually shook things up, and this could go from all different companies. You're seeing people get spotlights that you haven't seen ever get spotlights. Like, MJF became a fucking superstar legitimately, I feel like, more so in 2019 than he ever did in the past year or so. So many guys are becoming more of a star because people are getting moved around, everything's getting shuffled around from all different promotions. So more people are getting opportunities, and the thing is, Go or Nothing has the platform for all these people that if you heard of vaguely, or you look at them and go, oh, they're just fucking indie guys. This is just a glorified indie card. This is the time where they step up. They really fucking step up and go, okay, this is where everybody's going to pay attention. This is your first.
Everyone's going to bust their ass and have the best match possible.
Yeah, you guys, they got to treat this shit like this is fucking like Ring of Honor 2005, where they're just trying to fucking kill it. Or even TNA in 2005 and 2006, where they just come out there like balls of fire, just fucking kill it.
I think they can. I mean, the talent.
They have the talent to do it.
The talent is there. It's
the names, yes, to a degree, but the talent is fucking there, and that's the thing that I feel like is going to make it a great show to watch in general.
I remember. I think your dad had the best point, like, because when we were kind of, I will admit I was a little bit like I felt like.
I was the first one that was kind of sour about it.
Well, and then I was also, annoyed because I was like, okay. I mean, this is right around the time that we're more invested in the the super card, and we're both annoyed because we're like, oh, they're ruining, the super card, because now it's like it's supposed to be like this big dream match. Now you have half the members of the Bullet Club, gone, going to another company, and if you really think about this, a lot of that pay-per-view wouldn't have worked the same way if they had still been there, and you wouldn't have think about it like this. The whole thing with the fucking entrance with PCO and the fucking, the power bomb. Out of the fucking ring. That wouldn't have been a thing. PCO would still be in MLW.
Brody King too, probably.
Yeah.
Lifeblood wouldn't be there.
Yeah, like a fucking great match with with Bully and Flip and all them. The fucking hardcore match, or they're coming out with a fucking a pallet. That wouldn't have been a thing.
Dude, I don't care. I understand Ring of Honor is not a hugely drawing company. We gotta be honest with that. We understand that. But the thing is, Ring of Honor understood what they did was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity with Japan. If they would have not done this without Japan. We get that. But Ring of Honor, for as stupid as you had, the two stupid things on the entire show was the beautiful people, which I've stated I fucking can't stand. I've never fucking liked them. And then Enzo and Cass, Bozo and Casserole. Put those two stupid things out of a long 6-hour show that a lot of times was top to bottom great moments, great matches, great stuff. Would have been cool to see Kenny Omega live in the Garden and the Bucks and stuff. Oh hell yeah, it would have been. But at the same time, they did fine without them, and it's not a knock on them. It's just saying Ring of Honor in Japan fucking adapted, and they adapted well to it. People could go, oh, we wanted to see it. Go watch Double or Nothing then if you want to go fucking see them. And that's the thing. You gotta get used to more companies, and that's the thing. More companies are going to be around now, and now there's more opportunity for you to go, okay, well, because there's not enough time to catch up on all the wrestling. Now it's literally a division. It's literally everything's divided now. You have to choose what you want to watch more than others.
You know what? But I like that better because it's not like a monopoly of talent. People actually get like. Do you like a certain style of wrestling? You can go anywhere to see that particular set of wrestling. I like the idea of choice. I don't like people forcing me to watch something that I'm not gonna enjoy. Like put it this way: you go and you watch WWE, and you see the amount of talent they have, but a lot of them are underutilized. You have guys who are doing nothing, are very talented, behind the scenes, and are basically being told to every once in a while come on television and job to some guy that they're giving a push that we can't fathom the reason why. And you have the homegrown guys are going over guys who are were naturally brought up. And it's a weird thing with WWE. It's especially weird if think about it like this: if you had we were complaining, it's like we want to see guys move around, go from company to company, because that's how pro wrestling worked.
Yeah, Imagine that though. We were on here because I remember this clear as day. This was like the first. This was like back in December. It was like the first show we did with me in my new house here. It was like we were sitting here just thinking like there needs to be a fucking shake-up with the companies, and we didn't think it was going to be this fucking magnitude, to be honest with you. Really didn't think it was going to be like this. We would have thought, like, yeah, like, it's going to be with the same companies, but guys are just going to kind of shuffle around. We didn't think it was going to be like, okay, a new company's coming out, so they're taking that talent, that guy, and that girl. So, yeah, here comes a new person out of nowhere, and here comes this person from this company, and it's like, wow, it really is fucking, like, changing. And you know what? Maybe
the business has always been like this. You can't have the same a static talent for years at a time, because it's like you have a business that was always about mobility. You had wrestlers going from territory to territory, and this is one of the things that I was hoping would happen. Is that all these companies would come together under an NWA banner, so they could switch talent around. They would always have the talent available to them, but guys weren't just like staying in one company because that was where their meal ticket was. And WWE, in their structure of hoarding talent, has hurt the business for decades. And you got guys. People only recognize in WWE, and can't wrestle outside. If they go to like Ring of Honor, if they go to, like a guy like, if you told me tomorrow, like as much as I love The Miz, you told me they released him tomorrow, he's not going to be able to work in a Ring of Honor style. He has a particular WWE type style. It wouldn't translate anywhere else.
AEW?
even there, I wouldn't really see it.
If MJF could make it work, so could he.
I just to be honest, I don't think. I mean, like the fans, if he left, the fans, I don't even think the AEW fans would be like clamoring to really see him. I like the most of the fans from AEW that I can think of are the fair-weather fans that from Japan that stopped watching it altogether, and they kind of just like only really watched Japan because of the Bullet Club.
Yeah, which is kind of a bummer because it's like, yes, you're having your hardcore fans watch it too, but like, it's gonna be kind of shitty when it's like you see SCU come out. It's like, yeah, SCU. It's because they know them from Ring of Honor and now BD, and then it's like this really talented guy CIMA comes out, and then people are like, who? And I'm like for me as like a wrestling purist, it's like I get it, I understand, but at the same time, my thing is like this. What you do, it's like if you're going to a concert and you're like, you want to see a band you're going to see a band you really want to see, and you see all the opening acts listed, and you're like, oh, I never heard of them. What the right thing to do is you go on fucking YouTube. You type in, and I'm saying this back in wrestling terms, is you go in, you look at a guy that you never heard of, and go top 10 moves, top 20 moves of so and so, and then you look and go, shit, now I can't wait to see him. I don't know who the fuck Bandito was before All In. Had no clue. Because at the time, I really didn't follow CMLL or AAA as much as I'm trying to now. And then I fucking watch, and I go in, I type in top 25 moves of Bandito, and I went, I can't fucking wait for his match with Phoenix and Ray against the Bucks and Coda. And that match was great. So, the thing is, these Fairweather fans, if they're real fans, they'll go up and they'll look at, okay, who is this? Let me type in top 10 moves of them. That's the right way to do it. That's always the right way to do it. Fuck, Stone Cold Steve also admittedly does that. He has admittedly, when Kevin Steen was on the Indies in Ring of Honor, he would go up and type in top 75 moves of Kevin Steen. Like, he admitted to it. So if fucking pro wrestlers do that shit to get familiar, the fucking fans should do it. And if they don't, then yeah, they're Fairweather. As simple as that.
They're just, a lot of fans just are, they only go with whatever's popular. So, I mean, these are guys who might have been, like, huge fans of WWE, and then they, turned on WWE, went to something that's popular. They might have been turned on to like Japan or Ring of Honor, and noticed the Bucks, or it's weird. It's a weird thing. It's like there's a lot of the same type of fans who have the same kind of mentality for, oh, who's this guy? Like, you would think, like, the indie, the people that are, like, kind of watching the indie shows to watch, like, the Young Bucks and Cody and Kenny Omega and all that would be a little bit more, they'd be a little bit more learned in terms of knowing particular people. They kind of are more that I've noticed. Like, a lot of the people that are just like just Bullet Club or just the elite fans tend to be kind of the ones that you notice where you're like, I don't think they're. I hate to. I don't. I mean, I don't hate. Like, I'm not hating on them. I'm just saying that I've noticed they're usually the ones that are like, I don't know any of the other people. So, I don't really give a shit. It's like, you can't have that mentality. Like this is like you can't bring that WWE mentality because there's too many talented people. It's like if people are like that, it's like okay, PCO. Like I keep using PCO as an example. It's like there's a 50-year-old guy. It's like why people shouldn't be shitting on Dustin Rhodes. Like he's the same age as PCO.
Yeah, that's a great example of fucking fair weather. Where it's like, and even like again, same shit with even like a guy like Suzuki. I always use him as an example of where people are like, oh, he's old. Suzuki is fucking like less than a decade away from being able to get an AARP card, and he's out there in the fucking endurance of a fucking 25-year-old. I don't want to hear people say shit. It doesn't fucking matter how old you are. It matters how well you treat your fucking body. If you're,
I was looking. The way I look at it is if you're hobbled around, if your body is hobbled and you're walking around like okay, obviously, we joke about the Undertaker. Undertaker's one of those guys who's up in age that shouldn't be wrestling anymore because he's taken a lot of damage to his body. You can tell he's not moving around the same way. Yeah, he's one of those guys. Is like he's done his time. We don't need to see anything else from him. He's hurt. PCO, on the other hand, is a guy who's still moving around like he's in his 30s. Same thing with Suzuki. They don't look like guys who are, hobbled and injured and, worn down. And if they can still go, fucking fine. But, my thing is, you start to see them slow down and get hurt, then yeah, okay, maybe they should retire. But it's like, if you're going, oh, they're old, just because, they're 50 years old, and they have nothing wrong with them, there's no health issues, they're, in perfect condition, other than their age, then go fuck yourself, because you're not a wrestling fan. Because you see how many fucking fantastic matches you've seen from people who are, in advanced age.
People use the example of, oh, you don't see people playing football to their 50s or 60s. Two totally fucking different elements here. Totally different elements.
People don't get it. It's a fucking work. This is like, obviously they shouldn't be going over. Like, they shouldn't always be going over. They shouldn't be, your main champion. Suzuki and PCO definitely could be, because they look fucking menacing.
They're the exceptions to the rule.
Yeah. Like, now it'd be like, okay, if you brought back The Undertaker or Kane, and they suddenly had beaten, like, Brock Lesnar, or, but you got guys, and this is the insane part. It's like, I will make a point here. You have guys, and especially in UFC, who are 50, 60 plus, years old. I'm 28 years old, and I'm talking to these guys, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm 28 years old, but I'm not in as good a shape as any of these guys. And at the same time, they could kill me very easily if they wanted to. So I'm like, age doesn't fucking matter. If you don't have the training or you don't have the experience, they can fucking kill you very easily. Dude, so in the back of my head, I'm thinking, like, even with Dan Severn, nicest guy in the world, but I'm thinking in the back of my head, yeah, he could fucking actually snap my neck very easily.
I went back and watched Wrestling with Shadows, the Bret Hart documentary, after watching the Bret Hart episode of Dark Side of the Ring. And I want to bring that up more next week, but when Earls is on. But I'm rewatching this, and cause it's like I haven't seen this fucking film in years. And I'm rewatching this, and I'm looking at Stu Hart at that time in '97. He was 82 years old. He was, and I say this very nicely, with all due respect, he was walking on a 90 degree angle. This guy's back was bent, his arms were behind him, like really like bent. Like his back, he legit looked like a fucking walking boomerang. And I say that with all due respect. And it was like so rough to see. But then people come into the dungeon, football players are coming to the dungeon, and as soon as Stu Hart kneels down and these guys are on the mat, he starts fucking cranking these fucking arms back and fucking putting pressure on their hips, and he's making these grown-ass fucking football players cry at 82 years old with all these fucking degenerative fucking back problems and just his body just giving out on him. He still knew how to fucking make people hurt. He still knew how to hurt people. He's still able to hurt people just fine at 82 years old. So there's no fucking limit at all. You have the knowledge. You know how to fucking work around your body giving out. But the thing is, and this is the shit I give on Mark Calloway sometimes, is the guy would have been fine, honestly, if he took it more serious in the realm of stop fucking drinking for a year, maybe, and you'll see a little bit of a difference. The guy likes his Jack and Coke. I'm sorry. I've seen the pictures of him with fucking Ric Flair. The guy fucking drinks a lot. And the thing is, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
At this point, he fucking deserves it.
But I get that. But my thing is, I'm not saying stay sober. He probably doesn't drink that much. But when you see him double fisting fucking whiskey on the internet, and then the next thing you know, it's he's in the ring now. Oh, why the fuck does he look like shit? I don't know, maybe because he's fucking gassed out because he's not in the gym taking it that serious. He's kind of just being an old school wrestler going, yeah, I could drink and then still go. No. A 25-year-old could do that. You can't. You can't have it. That's one way or the other.
That's why you see guys like Suzuki and PCO. These guys are clean and sober and
Suzuki likes his Suzuki likes his tall boys of Budweiser. We've seen those. He likes his tall boys.
Who doesn't?
But again,
oh man, I wish I'd come back with a case of beer. Like Suzuki after show. Here you go.
He'll down about 3 tall boys.
Oh my god! I'm thinking like, just imagine if he was like the spokesperson for Budweiser.
The spokesperson for Budweiser in Japan.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to see a Jack. Well, you know what? And this is a real thing. If Okada and Tanahashi were able to be in the music video for Happy in Japan, Suzuki could have definitely been the spokesperson for Budweiser in Japan. And like I said, that's a real thing. They were in the Japanese music video for Happy from Pharrell Williams.
There's a Japanese version?
Oh hell yeah! I will send that. I will send that shit to you.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, Japanese music.
Why is
video.
Why is there?
I think it was Tanahashi.
Is it?
Was definitely in it.
Japanese language version?
No, No.
Ah.
It's sung by Pharrell Williams.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Yeah, I remember seeing Okada at least.
Is it a commercial or?
No, it's a full length 4.5 minute video, and it's just like random Japanese people dancing, and then all of a sudden you just see Okada doing a Rainmaker pose. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to look. Oh, okay, it wasn't Tanahashi. It was Nakamura. Yeah, it was Nakamura and Okada. Okay, yeah, so it was like... Yeah, if you... Alright, yeah, if you go like 55 seconds in, you'll at least see Nakamura. So this was a couple years ago. I'm trying to see where the fuck Okada is. Okada is at 3 minutes and 13 seconds in the video.
Yeah, I see Okada.
Yep.
But where was Nakamura?
55 seconds in. And they were both champions. One was the Intercontinental, the other was the heavyweight. Oh, the belt looked nice before fucking Naito ruined it. Oh man, you want to start going over or talking about G1?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So there's a lot we could. There's a decent amount of shit that we could get into. We're not gonna. Usually we would do this on like a Thunder on YouTube, but we figured since we were live, let's incorporate it into the show. But we're not gonna. Now this ain't gonna be your typical. We're gonna go over the results. We're pretty much gonna like explain our own perspective of like what it was like seeing it live. It's been a little different, but you know, I mean, obviously. There was about 12 matches on the card, so we would be here all fucking day if we were reciting everything word for word, note for note, shit like that, spot for spot.
To be honest, there are a couple matches I didn't even really get to see. I went back and I rewatched the card. Like it was like when you told me about the beautiful people, I didn't see it. I left. I went to get drinks.
As soon as I saw them, I legit just got up and fucking walked away. Dude, like if there's two people that I would like say are worse than the Bellas, it would probably be them.
Oh man, I'm surprised you didn't recoil because remember when you went to go see Rob Van Dam? They were stationed right outside the line.
Yeah, I saw the fucking Whores of Us.
Oh, they look horrible.
Angel Williams legit looks like her face was fucking dipped in acid.
Ugh.
I'm so glad that Davey Richards can use her in past tense now.
Ugh. No, I saw both of them when I was on the line. I was just like, wait, they were hot? I don't see it.
Oh, Bobby loved Velvet Sky once upon a time. I don't know what he would say now, but I know once upon a time he loved her. I'm like, dude, she can't fucking run the ropes. She can't fucking run the ropes. She did this fucking diatribe back in TNA making fun of the bra and panties movement. Going, oh, but you know, girls want to get into this business because it you know, this, that, and that, and, you know, we're in it for the wrestling part, which you can't fucking run the ropes, girl. Sorry.
How do you not know how to run the ropes? It's the first, like, other than taking a back bump, that's the first fucking thing they teach you.
I understand, but again, people looked at her and went, "We'll give you a pass."
No, because you have so many other women out there that can run the ropes and are hot. Ugh, I don't know. It's just neither one of them looked all that great when I saw them there.
They're fucking over. They are the most overrated thing TNA ever had. I say that. I've been saying that for years. There was nothing about them that I looked at and went, okay, yeah, they have potential. There was like a few times where I'm like, maybe we'll finally see something. But then, like 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, and so on went on, and I went, oh, okay. It's never going to get better.
So
and that's the thing. And that's the thing where I'll look at the bells
I looked at them, and I remember seeing Gail Kim, like, in one of the booths, and I was just like, oh, she's still hot. Like, I know she's retired, but it's like, if you were going to throw money at somebody to... I mean, I know exactly, because I remember you saying, yeah, oh, Velvet Sky's Bully's girlfriend, that's why they brought her in. I'm like,
Yeah. Exactly why. Anywhere, ever since they've been dating, which has been since the TNA days, back in, like, I want to say 2014, 2015, I heard they were starting to get together. Ever since they've been together, Bully's one place, Velvet shows up a little later. She was at the Hall of Fame when he got inducted. She would be backstage at WWE events. When he was there, House of Hardcore, there she is. Ring of Honor, here she is now.
To be honest, I'm like, it's just a case of, hey, I have no talent, but I'm good at blowjob.
Yeah, it's the old SpongeBob thing. Repeat after me. I have no talent. You just zoom in on Velvet Sky. I have no talent.
I really hope they don't try to put the belt on them.
And even then, the only thing I'll ever say about Velvet herself was, I met her and she was nice. But nice doesn't mean that you're a good worker, or even that you're fucking you're this bombshell of a fucking person. It just means, hey, yeah, when I met him, I didn't have a shitty reaction. Angelina, again, she's always just come across as fucking phony. But
I don't know. It's just I saw them and I wasn't like that impressed. I was like, eh.
But seeing them turn Mandy Leon, who I think has some potential, I don't think, like, she's a pretty girl, but a little too much makeup, but pretty girl regardless. She's getting better in the ring from what I've seen of her. If this is used to get her over, why not? I mean, honestly, I will say, well, if it's used for that purpose, but it's like, well, we're just here now because thanks, Bully Ray. Then it's kind of like
but couldn't they be valets or
yeah, that's what I hope is. I hope it's let the other two come in as the heaters while Manny Leon's carrying the load in singles matches, and it's like, oh, they can't get anything. they can't get it done on their own. Mandy can't get anything done on her own without Velvet and Angel. Angelina Love.
I'd be fine. I'd be okay with that if they want to give the money.
I would be okay with that too.
Hell, or they could do their own faction where they are also managing the men. I have no problem with that either. But like the wrestling on their own, I think it would be the issue.
The only time I really felt like I kind of enjoyed that group the most, like back in Impact, like Lacey Von Erich was just she was the prettiest one out of the bunch. That I will say, she definitely was the best looking out of the bunch. Madison Rayne looked like a fucking But, and Madison Rayne in the ring got way fucking better. That's another thing I can't take away. She's just very small. But, I enjoyed them a lot when they were managing Billy Gunn, who went by the name Cute Kip. Which, he got into that gimmick, man. He embraced the shit out of that. It was like, he helped them, in my opinion, get more over. And that was like, okay, but again, that's when you look at it and go, okay, that's just Billy Gunn being Billy Gunn. Yeah, I want to see if I can find a picture of him when he was doing that. It was fucking, he was so fucking cool with that. Oh, yeah, here's how he fucking dressed. I gotta show you this shit. Oh man,
get the bowl and everything. Oh my god! I just looked it up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, hit with the boa.
Is that? Did Tyler Breeze rip that off?
Basically.
Oh my god. That's actually that's fucking great. Oh, I got even better one. I got an even better one. Oh my god. Oh god. Oh man. Oh, Billy Gunn's a good guy.
Hell yeah. There's nothing bad you could say about Billy Gunn. But,
I got a great idea. I got a great idea for the thumbnail. Take the picture I sent you, and have Billy in the middle. Have Billy in the middle. Bray in his new form, and the cardboard cutout that he used the chainsaw for.
Oh my god, that's a lot of Photoshop. I'll try to pull it off though. For those listening, we're basically just look up Cute Kip TNA, and it's the picture of him with the fucking boa next to the beautiful people.
I feel like that would work. You just put Bray on the other side with him with the chainsaw, and then the cut in half cardboard cutout.
This is legitimately just this. This is the prime example, like that. That would I totally identify just with Yeah, it was 420 week, but and again, it's just one of those things where you look at it and be like, when thinking of shit like this, it's no one was. This is some next level drug shit. No one was sober.
Oh my god. You know the weird thing is?
Like, you can't tell me Billy Gunn was just like, hey, let me get a little of that ecstasy.
Just rubbing on everything.
Yeah. Oh, I like that boa. Yeah, let me put that boa. Yeah.
That was nice.
Oh, fucking damn it. But yeah, but back to the G1 card. I basically walked in on hearing Suzuki come out, and I legit run in at the time where you hear Kazi ni there.
Oh yeah, I filmed that fucking shit. I went and sat down because we missed a women's match. I forgot who was wrestling.
I fucking don't give a shit. I'm sorry. I was like, I don't care. I was, because the thing I liked, and the one thing I even talked about a little bit when I did my WrestleMania review was, one thing I hate, legitimately hate, WWE, a $1 billion company, could not fucking play the show in the fucking, around like the concessions area or anything. You have hundreds of TVs and all this is, here, let's just show the WrestleMania logo. They couldn't show what the fuck was going on in the ring, but in the Garden, you saw wall-to-wall TVs everywhere playing that fucking card.
Exactly, that was genius.
As I'm at like the fucking merch tables and shit, I'm looking around and I'm looking at the women's card. I'm like, yeah, it looks good, but I'm not in a rush to fucking get out there. But as soon as the Rumble hits, I look and I'm like, oh fuck, Suzuki's out. I gotta go.
That exact thing happened to me. But I got food because remember where you left me? Where it was you and your dad went to your seats. Well, as soon as you guys left, I went and got food, and luckily, the area right where you guys left was where my seats were. So I went upstairs. I sat down. I saw Kenny King come out, and then as soon as Suzuki's theme hit, I pull out my fucking my phone, and I'm like recording the fucking crowd reaction. The whole. I was kind of annoyed. It's like, yeah, you probably should have waited until like people are already kind of in their seats before they like pulled him out. But the crowd still like had a fucking amazing reaction.
But here's the thing: you couldn't. They wanted to do the whole song. They couldn't have done that if he was another entrant.
Yeah, that's true.
And they weren't going to make him 30 because we all know who 30 was going to be. But when I got out right at the part where it's like, as soon as I was hearing like it was getting to that part, I went, I gotta go, and I walk right out there just to yell Kazi ni Nare, and someone looks at me like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Like one of the ushers looking at me like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
That's great. That was like the second time we were able to do that.
I made full fucking I told everybody I was going to be a fucking mark. And I told Earls this too. I was a mark up until a point where it's like actually meeting people. I was just nonchalant the whole fucking time, like talking to people. Just like, yeah, man, we're all dudes. Yeah, we're all people. Yeah. And then later on, I fucking mark out like later as days go on. But fucking the Rumble, I really fucking thoroughly enjoyed. I feel like it was one of the better. I feel it was definitely one of the better Rumbles of the week. And to the point where I mentioned before of like the guys that are aging or getting older, it's like, you know, you could tell who's hurt. Haku, you could definitely tell he's fucking banged up. at the same time, it's nice seeing him because you don't see him often.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to see him used in that effect, though.
Yeah, it's nice seeing him, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, you can tell this is why he's only here for fucking gimmicks like this, and that's it. He's not in this. He's not in this seriously. He's in this as an attraction to come in, do what he's got to do to still be, hey, I'm a legend, and then go, okay, let me make this guy look good too.
There's a lot of people on this card. There's a lot of people on this card that could have had matches in their own right. Like, you had a lot of guys. Like, I mean, obviously they had to make room for the the Ring of Honor guys, but it's like, I mean, it would have been nice to have seen like who has the 3-man tag team belts and. Who has the 6-man tag team belts in Japan right now?
In Japan?
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't even fucking know.
Shit. Those flip around so fucking much.
For open weight 6-man. Let me see. Last I remember it was like Yano and a few other guys. Let me look. I fucking forget.
I know the Ring of Honor ones are PCO and
Brody,
Marty and
Brody. List them never open weight. Alright, the belts never changed. Yeah, it's Yano, Makabe, and Taguchi.
Okay.
But
I mean, it would have been nice to have seen them do the 6-man. Yeah, instead of doing like, yeah. I mean, they kind of had to do the women's matches, so just like I feel like they could have done a 6-man tag match.
I'm okay with them not doing
but I would have enjoyed it.
It's one of those things where it's like I'm not upset that they didn't do it, but if it was there, I would have enjoyed it.
Yeah, exactly.
But but still, it's like the idea of Suzuki being in the ring with Haku together, like both of us were definitely thinking of that meme. Let me tell you about my best friend.
Oh man!
I was like, guys, please do something in there. And I really don't remember if they were like anywhere near each other. But
no, Suzuki was fighting with Goto.
Yeah, but when Muda came out, it was obviously that was like the big shock. It was like holy shit. And he again, another guy that looks pretty banged up, but it was a great attraction to see him out there. And him with the stare down with Tiger Mask, I couldn't help but to just be like the mark, and just go, I'm watching my video game Virtual Pro 64 come to life.
Oh man! What did you think of the finish? So I was like, I was iffy at first, but then I was like, they're getting. Yeah, I mean, it's good heel work.
I hated the finish of the Kayfabe way. I liked it as a person that understands the business. As someone that understands it.
I understand. No, I was like, I like Kenny King. I think he has a lot of potential. So the fact that they had him do that and get that heat made a lot of sense.
As someone that understands, I went good, but as a mark, I went, or in kayfabe sense, I was just like, "Fuck you, mother, damn it." But
I mean, I had the same reaction when Suzuki got eliminated. I was like fucking pissed at Ishii.
Dude, I legit thought Suzuki was winning it, by the way. I was so convinced.
Yeah, me too. And I remember getting so pissed off. He's like, I'm watching it. I'm watching it on one of the TVs in the hall, and I'm waiting for Chrissy. And Chrissy, and this is legit. The funny bit about this is she's already like pre-gaming because she just came from a baby shower in like Long Island, and she's coming into like from Penn Station because she took the train in, and she's like keeps calling me, and she's like, "How do I get there?" And I'm like, "You take the escalator up." It's like I can't come down. There's like none of the escalators are allowing me down, and I can't get out regardless because it's like once you're in, you're in. You can't leave. Because then you're like. You cannot. There's no re-entry. So she's like stumbling around the arena trying to come in, and she is like messed up. And I'm like, okay, I need to get her food. And then we get to the seats, and then she's watching the show. So by the time we get back to our seats, it's time for It's time for the Flippy and the Flippy in the Giant Boulder show.
Oh, you mean the match that I looked at and went, "Holy fuck!" This William Regal and Triple H wish that they had this exact match on NXT Takeover. That was my immediate. I don't know what that was my immediate thought.
Let's throw himself at the Giant Boulder several times and get progressively more hurt each time.
Jeff Cobb definitely is a fucking boulder.
I'm thinking of it as like a Rocky and Bullwinkle show, but it's Flippy and the Giant Boulder. Let me throw myself at the boulder until I'm bloodied.
I fucking love this match.
Throw me on my neck. Oh, what a good fucking... all jokes aside, this bad match.
Here was a great moment. You remember the spot where where Jeff Cobb he throws Will Ospreay up and then he catches him into a bear hug?
Yes.
Because I have the memory of a goldfish, and it was already fucking day 3 of a lot of wrestling, and I haven't been able to watch wrestling much in the past couple months as is. I saw that and popped really loud, and my dad and people just laughed around, and my dad was just because I was so impressed because I totally forgot he's done that in the past, and my dad with the most smart mark comment when he's like, "What the fuck?" He's done that so many times in Lucha Underground. And people looked and chuckled "Oh my god, the 60-year-old guy is the one that's educating the young one of this shit happens a lot. This is a it was just so smart mark about it. But I was just popping because it's you see it live and it's totally fucking different compared to watching it on fucking television, which Lucha Underground, it's forever ago by this point. But yeah, these guys had just so much sick shit, the shit they did on the fucking floor, fucking that throw up, that pop up DDT on the floor is there's just so much cool shit that they did that and again, I go back and I'm I gotta go watch this again. I gotta go watch because I don't fucking remember shit anymore for some reason.
I remember I'm a big
that
fan
match
of Jeff
very
Cobb
well.
because I saw him live against Hangman Page, and I remember the exact same spot where to be honest, I probably, if I was with your dad, I probably would have said, yeah, I saw that live already. When he caught Hangman Page, it was more impressive.
Oh yeah, of course.
Page was a huge motherfucker.
Of course. But again,
Because
like, you know,
do you remember that match? He did fucking moonsault into that.
bro, to me that was like 20 years ago already. Like I fucking forgot.
That was December.
Dude.
God damn. When you say fuck, you know what? When you say Snapchat brain, now I'm gonna think you're wrestling Snapchat brain. Oh, a month ago, it didn't happen.
Yeah, I could tell you what happened 20 years ago, but I couldn't tell you what the fuck happened last week.
You're fucking wrestling Snapchat brain.
You know, again, too much fucking wrestling. There's way too much shit where it's just like, this is just way, like, I was paying attention to the fucking stupid shake-up, and it's like, oh yeah, you really not gonna remember all this other shit? I'm gonna forget half the shit after a while.
Oh, Hangman Page did a moonsault off the balcony. Where did that happen?
Okay, that I remember, obviously. It's one thing where it's like, I've never seen Jeff Cobb live, and that's another fucking thing. I've never seen somebody, so it's like, for me, it's like, some of the shit that they do, it's like, it's fun. It's fun fucking being there. It's like, fuck, I got to see them do, you know, all these crazy shit. It's like, you know, fucking, to me, I had a hard time on this entire show just pointing out, like, what was a match of the night. I still can't fucking decide. Like, Dragon Lee's match, where he went over against Ishimori Bandito. The tag match was great. The fucking Zack Sabre and Tanahashi, I really fucking loved. The Intercontinental title match, the ladder match, the main event. There's just so much shit that was good on here. I really can't point out. It was like, what was a dud? There was not too many duds.
But that's how a fucking Ring of Honor Japan show should be. Something where it's like fantastic throughout.
Yeah, I can't. I still can't. Like, people can't ask me. It's like, you could ask me what was the best match of Mania, Kofi and Bryan, but I can't fucking tell you. Like on here, is like, what was the best match? I can't fucking tell you.
I still have not seen Mania. I'm not doing much, and Christy's away. Like, her and her sister are on a vacation, so maybe later on I'll kind of just binge watch a couple matches, but I still haven't watched Mania, and it's like I had no point to, because like as soon as Mania happened, I went on Facebook. It's like I was doing extra shit, and like I kind of like forgot it was even Mania. It's funny. It's WrestleMania weekend, and I realized it's WrestleMania weekend. I forgot WrestleMania happened. Can you fucking imagine that? Can you imagine that?
Okay.
Forgot WrestleMania happened.
Wrestling Snapchat brain. Forgot Adam Page did a fucking moonsault off a balcony. The biggest wrestling event ever in the history of our sport. Oh wait, what is that again?
Yeah, it's like you make the okay. That's the funny thing about it. It's like, if you thought about it like this, like it's like me going, oh yeah, I just went to like every other.
Okay, there, Black Pot.
Every other football championship happened. Like I went and watched like the national champion. Like it would be like within all the same week. I saw the national championship. I saw the Arena Football League, their version of the Super Bowl. I saw all the other minor leagues of like professional football, and then the CF, you know, like the CFL and all that shit, and then just suddenly, I forgot the Super Bowl happened. That's basically what happened.
Oh man, XFL is next year. Wait, when's the Super Bowl?
That's how I feel nowadays. I'm like, I don't give a shit about WWE. They don't care about storylines. They don't care about putting the fans first. It's like, I don't give a shit what they do.
This is exactly my thing. Where it's like, for me, I'm just gonna. If I have something I'm gonna complain about WWE, I'm just not gonna fucking watch the show that week, or just not in general. And I went on a hiatus for like a month or two, and when I'm watching this on my own merit, I'm not blaming anyone but myself. That's why, for me, I'm not gonna sit here and complain about.
That's why I can't take.
I can respect the people that are going to go.
I can't take when Meltzer and Brian Alvarez every other week is just them ragging. Oh, WWE had their low. It's like a fucking parrot. It's like WWE had its lowest ratings ever. Right? Brian, what did you think? Right?
And here's another thing too. I also went on a hiatus. I also went on a long hiatus on, like, when we weren't doing our show. Admittedly, I took a hiatus from podcasting in general. Didn't even listen to podcasts, because to me, another thing that would bring me down about WWE, and it felt like a fucking never-ending cycle, was I'm watching the Monday Night Raw. Okay, I'm listening to show 1 talk about how bad Raw was. By the end of the week, I'm listening to the fucking 7th show talking about how bad Raw was. I'm doing my own show talking about how bad Raw was. And it's just a never-ending cycle of a reminder of, okay, what I'm watching is bad, and I'm just going to complain about it.
I remember you having this conversation a long time ago where you were saying, you said something, who the fuck was it, Rick Rogers?
Are you talking about the no dive shit?
No, it was about like Raw, about. I forgot. It was somebody who was either in the company or like wanting to get into the company, and you're like, "Well, Raw was like really bad this week," and he said, "Well, you're still gonna watch it anyway." And it's like,
was that when I was talking to somebody on Twitter?
Yes.
I'm trying to remember. It was a referee. It wasn't
Armstrong.
Yeah, it was Armstrong. It wasn't your boy Kimmy. It was it was the other ref. Yeah, it was Road Dogg's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, you're gonna watch anyway. I was like, no, I'm not. Are you watching right now? No. And I legit, I even messaged. I messaged him.
He's right in a lot of those cases, is because you have all these podcasters and people who just bitch and complain about the product, and they continue to just keep watching it. It's like,
and again,
I can't do that. If I'm not going to waste, I'm sorry. People who do watch Raw and hate it, like, that's great for you. I can't do that. I'm not going to waste 3 hours of my life to complain about something I can't stand. I wouldn't go and watch This is your life. You have a limited amount of hours on this planet to live your life and do things that you want to do. I'm not going to go and watch something. It's like playing a video game. Like, even if I got it for free, if the game sucks, I'm not going to go and play it for fucking 18 hours. It's 18 hours of your life. You know the old saying, time is money?
Yes.
Unless WWE's paying me to watch their shit, I ain't going to watch it. Sorry.
Now, here's the thing, where it's like, I can sit there and watch Raw and look at the highlights, because I don't fucking watch Raw live. I haven't watched... There's maybe 1 or 2 times out of like a year where I'll be like, fucking whatever, I'll sit through it, and I'll probably shut it off halfway and go, I'll watch the rest on a DVR like later.
I used to do what? I would go, instead of just watching Raw or SmackDown, sometimes I would watch like some of the, especially when we were doing the podcast, we still kind of had to like follow what WWE was doing on like a pretty weekly basis. I would go and I would watch like clips, or I would go and listen to Brian Zane's like Raw and SmackDown reviews.
Yeah, and then again, there's a way to keep in touch with it and even watch it without fucking have to sit through the entire 3-hour show.
I don't even want to do that. Like and I'm not saying this because I don't like Brian. Like Brian Zane's great, and I do really dig. Like if you don't have the time to watch Raw and SmackDown, I think he gives the fairest and most unbiased like opinion. Like I take his opinions on especially in wrestling a hell of a lot more than something like Dave Meltzer, and he's a hell of a lot more entertaining to listen to.
I can't help but to be a dick, and I say you know I'm not serious when I say this. Oh, but Bonesaw, the most truest wrestling opinion of all is Kevin Scampoli.
We don't talk about that. You don't talk about that.
You know, so guess what? I'm sure you told me a long time ago, but I finally fucking like paid attention to, or finally looked at like why he's such a douche. Besides the fact that he said what the shit he says, and the thing is, I don't take that shit into accountable of like that he's playing a fucking gimmick. But the reason why I say he's a douche is because I finally looked at that whole podcasting event that they were supposed to do in Florida, and that shit I was like, yeah, I get it now. Where like he just pointed out a disability I didn't even know Brian Zane even had. So there you go of how. There you go. If you told me that shit, it was like, okay, if you told me here's two guys in this wrestling podcast or video vlog thing on YouTube, and it's like one of these guys is not right in the head, I'd be like, yeah, Kevin Scampoli is clearly the one, right? And you're like, no, it's Brian. I'm like, Brian's like the most well put together guy who has fucking marketing on a fucking wrestling canvas in Jersey City for WrestleMania weekend. He has his own table. He has a credibility to him. He does shit in wrestling. And the other one sits at home and goes, Baron Corbin's the best, guys. I'm gonna go prank call people.
I'm gonna talk about how much, like, wasn't he the one that was, like, talking about how much, like, he wanted to, like, bang Nia Jax or something, or she's bad or something.
Yeah,
I forgot what the fuck he said. It was really I remember.
Here's what he did. He sent fucking, and you can't help but to laugh because it's like you look at him and you wonder why wrestlers don't listen to fucking marks. He fucking sent her fucking coupons to Domino's on Twitter.
Coupons to Domino's. What the fuck?
He sent fucking coupons to her on Domino's. I look at that and went, now you know exactly. You people wonder why wrestlers are just kind of dicks nowadays to the fucking fans. Because it's like, either it's gonna be, oh my god, you're the best, or, hey, look, you're a piece of shit, and he hears me acknowledging why. And of course, well, that's why people are like, block. Because you have
like a million people fucking doing it all at once.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, and then you have this guy, it's like, and the only reason, and I'll admit, I subscribed only because the reason why I was subscribed to that show was there was shit back then where he wasn't always this fucking obnoxious. There was a lot of times where they brought up good points and then it just became an overload of, oh my gosh, let me exploit the fact of I don't care about this PC movement. It got overboard. He got overboard. There's a way of just being like, yeah, I don't fucking care about people, getting offended. And then this guy's just
he's the Donald Trump he's the Donald Trump of
the
wrestling podcast.
Yeah. Exactly the thing. He's the Donald Trump of it. And the thing is, people like him because of that. That's his appeal.
Exactly, because you always have people or lowest common denominator who love fucking Crash TV.
And if you like him,
he's the same way as Vince Russo. It's like when Cornette calls him out and he says, "Well, he wanted wrestling to be the Jerry Springer show," and then now that's basically what Kevin Schipoli is. He's the Howard Stern, the fucking Jerry Springer, the lowest common denominator of wrestling podcasts. I have no, like, okay, every once in a while he'll say something funny, but it's like everything else is just crass and mean for the sake of being mean. It's at the setup of a joke. And even like I said, we've said some pretty fucked up things too. But it's always in the pretense of it's a joke. It's not we're actually trying to be mean. We're not going to go and pull some shit like New Jack, where we're going to like go to and talk about Jerry Lawler's son committing suicide and shit like that. There's certain things that we understand are not funny and that are not ever going to be topically pleasing. So yeah, obviously we're not going to go that far. We're not. It's what I get from him is he's an edgelord for the sake of being an edgelord. That he's going to get an audience because of it.
We have our moments where it's like we are not pretending to be any fucking thing of like Howard Stern or anything. We are far from your serious podcast, and we are far from being your fucking edgelord thing. We are kind of in that middle range where we are gonna have our moments where we're fucking serious, and we're gonna have our moments where we're just
I feel like we're the Opie
coops.
and Anthony of
we are not, and that's the thing where people get us confused, where people will be like, oh, why are you guys emphasizing on this? It's like, we're not meant to be fucking serious. We come on here cracking jokes and being fucking goofballs because that's the charm of what we were trying to do. That's what we try to do with Kayfabe Talk Radio. The name of the show is not serious. And people got that convoluted. They were like, oh man, like they have kayfabe in the name. Yeah, that's the joke. In the words of The Simpsons, that's the joke. So when we come out here and we make cracks, it's not like Kevin Stampoli's a guy where he says shit and you're like, fuck, he's serious. Like, that's the scary thing. It's like, he can put on the laughy, giggly, I said Muslim. He can put that act on all he wants. We know for a fact he sits at home with his Donald Trump fucking hat because he owns that shit. Yeah, he fucking sometimes wears Donald Trump hats and he's like, hey, he's a Hall of Famer. He's a Trump supporter. He's
the fucking edgelord. That's how he gets his audience. He just he knows how to draw heat.
Yeah, but again, he knows where his market is, and that's the thing. But I don't know. We spent enough time talking about that schlub, but But again, if you were to go back to this one last time, because like I said, we're not gonna really sit here. If anything, if I'm gonna say anything more on topic of this the Ring of Honor Japan show, I'm gonna narrow it down to this. If you want to watch a good wrestling show and it's like if you're like, I'm a wrestling fan but not so much these days, if I'm going to watch a show, is it going to be WrestleMania or G1? I'm going to tell you flat out, go watch G1. If there's people you never heard of, you're going to enjoy it. It's a show you could easily get invested in. There's plenty of backstory provided by the announcers. You have a good announce team that'll fucking do that for you to provide you why these guys are fighting, and you're going to have good wrestling on top of it. There's just basically the best way I could put it is, I really feel like there's two things here that stand out that I'm like, as much as I love Naito, that match was a tremendous match. I'm glad Dakota did go over. As a mark, I'm like, my boy lost. But I'm like, at the same time, it's like, great fucking match. But if there's two things here, I gotta be I told you so on, and I was wrong, I was fucking wrong about Matt Taven. That guy fucking stepped up.
Dude, I've actually, like, low-key kind of liked him since... and he's doing...
I didn't, but I get it.
He's drawing good heat, so...
I get it. I get why he went over. Good. I get why he went over. And I'm glad that, like... And as soon as I saw that match was coming on, I went, fuck, Okada... Matt Taven's winning, Okada's going over. And again, I told you so. That's the second thing with everybody. I'm not talking just you, I'm talking everybody who was like, no, Jay White's beating Okada. I was like, he said in the promo.
You know what my thought was? They're not, but you know what? As soon as I went back and re-listened to it. If I'd been watching it at home, and I heard what they had said during the broadcast, they go and they say, "Oh, there hasn't ever been two back-to-back no retention champions since like '91," and I was like, "Yeah, it makes sense." If I'd heard that, I would have like immediately. It would have been a fucking tip off.
Yeah. So again, it was a thing where I saw that Okada was coming into this thing headlining the fucking card, and again, it's two main events. Yes, they definitely were the two main events, but Okada was the main event, and they were billing this as Jay White always beat Okada. Okada never beat him, which is true. I immediately was like, he's going over. But what I will say, Jay White was his best match ever. Best fucking match ever. And there was moments where I was like, is he gonna win? And for me to sit there and go, you know, and mind you, I've been watching wrestling, like I said, like I've said before, I've been watching wrestling now for about 22 years. Consistently, and for me to sit here and go, for a split nanosecond, oh, Jay White may do it, I'm like, that's a fucking good match, because that's the element of you want in a wrestling match. You want the element of, oh man, he's gonna fucking pull it off, and to me that's what makes a great match, is for a moment it doubts you.
Can I just say something about I felt I got the opposite feelings that I got from. Could I just say this was the antithesis of what the Kenny Omega Okada matches were, where it told more of a story. Those matches were the spectacle. They weren't about, like, they told somewhat of a story. The two guys are just banging heads. They're too top of their game.
They told the story in Flair Steamboat.
This felt like more of the traditional wrestling match, where you have the babyface, you have the heel, you have I felt like there was more emotion in this match.
But
than
here's
there ever
why.
was.
Here's why. Here's why I'll explain, because I follow Japan a lot more. You know, a lot more than you, and that's not knocking you. It's just saying I actually just make sure I keep in contact with what's happening. So, the thing here is with these guys is, and the difference between Okada and Kenny and Okada was a feud based on who's the best, who is the best in a dream match scenario. And that's what their feud was. Their feud was a feud out of respect. It wasn't a feud of, oh man, it's Bullet Club versus Chaos. No, it was Bullet Club versus Chaos, but it's the Top Dog and Bullet Club, Top Dog and Chaos. Who the fuck is the best talent? Whereas this was, Jay White was another guy brought into Chaos who didn't get along with the members in Chaos. He took Gato, and Gato stabbed Okada in the back. And this was Jay White cementing himself and getting his way and being the conniving son of a bitch of, I now have the keys to the kingdom. I took the Bullet Club name. I took the matchmaker. I took the guy that made Okada a success, and he's gonna make me a success. I am the conniving piece of shit, and that's what made Jay White a character. And you went into this as a character against the guy that people were doubting and getting tired of, who is now rejuvenated. He went to this whole, not broken phase, but he went to this whole disheveled phase of, I'm just going out there and, you know, I'm having a hard time pulling off fucking victories. And then now he just comes in as a resurgence of, I'm the Okada again. I'm the fucking Rainmaker. And I'm getting revenge on Gato, who stabbed me in the back, who was my mentor, and I'm getting revenge on that motherfucker that I let into my group, and I'm getting that fucking belt back. And that's why there was more emotion into it, because there was more of a story. It wasn't based on who's the best. It's babyface heel redemption. And that's what made it more opposite.
The funny part is, we were like Greg, our friend, a friend of a podcast, he was mentioning when we went to MLW, we were like, you were talking about, you were talking about this match, and he said, oh yeah, booking master Gato, and Gato really is a fucking booking master, because he took a case where, by all means, New Japan should be hurting right now, because they lost Kenny Omega, and you know they've lost Kushida, they've lost a couple different guys. They lost Hiromu is still out. You know, it should have been a measure of them being in a lot of trouble here, and you know scrambling around to like make the necessary changes so that they can at least put on a decent card. And the fact is, Jay White looks fantastic. He looks like a piece of shit heel. He really doesn't lose much here. In the long run, I remember you saying you didn't like the idea of putting the belt on Jay White this early. Now it makes sense for him to want to get the belt back by any means necessary, because he's had the belt before, and he looks like a jackass because he lost it on the first challenge. So,
but here's the thing, though. It's like and I will admit to being wrong on this, where I say they should have never put the belt on him. No, this was good. It was good for him to be a transitional champion because of how young he is. It looks like I'm entitled. He came off with the whole I'm entitled. I'm getting this. I am getting the keys to the kingdom so early. I'm entitled, and that's his gimmick. This just crazy entitled fucking 20-year-old millennial who couldn't fucking he hung in there, but he couldn't get the job done on his own when it really fucking mattered. And the thing is, it's a catalyst. This will eventually be used as a catalyst for him to be a top talent. But for people to compare him to Kenny Omega, no, he looks like a poor man's Kenny Omega. I'm sorry. He does when you compare it to that, because he's not that. He's himself. He's the snarky fucking heel. He is not this fucking tremendous talent that's gonna come out there and is the best mount machine. No, he looks like a fucking cheap knockoff of Seth Rollins as a heel in the Authority. And this, if you compare him to that, he has to be his own man. And he is his own man. And people gotta stop comparing him, and that's what got me annoyed with Jay White. But him doing this story and telling his own story got me to be like, fuck, I want him to succeed further. But people need to leave him alone.
I love the fact that he basically I'm like, this is one of those things where it's like, okay, you people were probably thinking they were going to be, going at each other right out of the gate, like having this like New Japan style match, and I felt like they purposely booked it where Jay White is slowing down the pace of the match, and it just starts, like, it gets more and progressively more and more, and you're just like, like you're watching it, and you're like waiting for like the pace to just start picking up, and it's just like the tempo of the match. It wasn't like this Kenny, like Kenny Omega. Like I'm using the example because it's like when I'm watching this, it's like it feels like a New Japan match, but it doesn't. It feels like something different. You can tell there's animosity there, that there's disrespect, that there's a lot of anger on both sides, and then as the match, and this is a pretty long match. And it's, the match is going on and it's moving more and more progressively towards the climax. And it's just like, now they're picking up the fucking pace. And it's just like anyone's game. And it's like, this is a completely different match than what Okada was doing with Kenny Omega about a year ago. And I was completely fine with it. I don't know if all fans are gonna like work completely, on their, on the edge of their seat watching this, but it's like this match was. I mean, you can make the point. It's like this was one of those matches that could end up being a match of the year.
And to me, I've stated so many times, I am not a big Jay White fan, and I'm not even that big of an Okada fan. But for me to get emotionally invested in two guys that I was kind of going into this not crazy about, and then eventually just totally rooting for fucking Okada, and, getting, like, going, and then Jay White doing the whole fucking heel thing, it's fucking great! For me to get invested into it, whereas, and then just really care, that's what, to me, if I were to have to pick, I can't do it, but if I have to, I would say, if you really were like, no, you have to pick, you have to fucking do it, it would probably be this one, but with the inclusion of, you have to really pay attention to the story. It's not, this is one thing where you can't look into it and go, oh, I'm watching it and not knowing who these guys are, or I know who kind of Okada is because of Kenny Omega, but I don't really know I don't know who Jay White is, I don't know why they're fighting. You have to pay attention to the story to really care. And knowing the whole story behind it that was brewing for the past year, and this is the culmination of that, which will eventually be resurfaced in future cards, they did a wonderful fucking job.
There's one thing I want to ask, though, because I know your dad, for a while, didn't like, because he felt like, it's not like he hated Okada, he thought he was just
we were
bland.
kind of like, yeah, we were kind of, he was
felt like he got the belt for that amount of time. What was his reaction when Okada won?
Oh, he was fucking thrilled. He was he again was made. Me and him were both fucking wrong on this one, where we were like looking into it as, well, here's Okada, who we fucking want, we know is gonna win, because we both pretty much saw Okada was gonna win, and we were both kind of like, it's gonna be a great match, but we did not. It far exceeded our expectations. We were both fucking invested into it. The false finishes, everything, the pacing was fucking fantastic. Usually it's one of those things where it should be out of the gate, but like you said, the guys fucking made it seem like Jay White was the one dictating the pace, and that's a good heel. Now, on the funny parts, I have to, because you're there live, you have to acknowledge the crowd being the crowd. You have one guy there who's like completely pro fucking Jay White, and the guy was just this heckler was just fucking great, to the point where he was going, make him bleed, Jay White, he's fat! and then someone else goes, a sacrifice! And then, and the guy's going back and going, Okada's got a 22 and third chance, minus Jay White's 125% chance. And I'm trying to think what else. And then they were making whatchamacallit. They were making references to what the hell? Fire Pro, where they were like, oh, it's 2.9. But yeah, like the crowd for this was like red hot.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, there's a lot of I mean the people by me weren't the crowd around me was like they were into it, but they weren't making as many like funny, like clever, remarks.
Oh, it was good. It was like, to me, I got into it. It was like, it was a mixture of smart mark hecklers mixed with just complete culture shock of, you had your Japanese crowd who were like, they were doing your typical like, yells and battle cries for the Japanese talent. Like during the battle royal, you were hearing like Japanese girl go like Bushi, and like they were getting like really like, it was like, damn dude, like you're at a card on this weekend with a total like with people around the world, and then I'm sitting next to dudes talking to them from Ireland who just came in, who were jet lagged. And then there's people from Scotland talking to me, and I'm like, damn, dude, like, there's a legit fucking culture shock here. And to me, it was nice.
I mean, we didn't even get that. We didn't even get that feeling when we were in, like, so like when we went to like Bloodsport, especially at MLW.
It was very regional feeling.
You saw some people were like,
yeah, it was a very
not
regional
from the area, but it's like they were mostly local people.
Yeah, I mean, and you had some people like shout out to my good friend for the past decade, Naparo, who I've shouted out last week, who is the for those of the wrestling figure community, he's very well known for making the ring skirts, which he's tremendous at what he does, and he's always been a good friend of mine. So, it was a pleasure to fucking run into him at MLW. And but yeah, like he's from like the deep part of Pennsylvania, where he's like not that far from Baltimore. But like other than that, it's like you really weren't seeing like too many international people come in. It wasn't, for me, it was more of like Japan and then WrestleMania, and like that's where really you saw more international people come in. But, like, to me, it was, like, that's what made the weekend just as nice, if not helped it get better, was you're sitting around people from all different countries.
Shit. Yeah, I mean, I wish the people by me were all like, you could tell were New Yorkers or people in the local area. But everybody, I wish I had been a more ethnic crowd, I'd say. Yeah, because it's like the cool thing about it was it was funny because I was in the crowd that I was. It was like a row by row thing where we were all like cheering for different people. So it'd be me and the guy next to me would like be cheering either like depending on what card it was, like what match it was. We were either rooting exactly for the same guy or we were rooting for separate guys. So it's like me and the guy next to me were rooting for Jeff Cobb, and everybody like the other two rows were rooting for Ospreay. And then there was like a row in back behind them that was rooting for Jeff Cobb.
I was kind of split. Like I was split. Like I honestly, I was the one that started a both these guys chant.
Nice.
Yeah, like I started a both these guys chant. It was just like everybody's doing it along with me for a little bit. I don't think it got that loud, but I think like maybe like no more than like 50 to 100 people were doing it, which in an arena of 20,000 people, that's nothing. But still, it was a thing where it's like I was undecided. A lot of these matches, it was just more of like I had my moments. Like I obviously between Naito and Ibushi, I was pro Naito the whole fucking way.
Oh yeah, same.
You know, but
I was still happy. I was still happy that Ibushi won, but yeah.
The last thing we're gonna talk about on this is so before we. And we'll talk about MLW next week because, like I said, there's just one. Yeah, we're starting to get to the home stretch on this show, but yeah, we could just there's stuff I want to talk about with MLW in length. I don't want to shoot. I just don't want to shoot it. But the Girls of Destiny match where they won the tag titles, the Ring of Honor tag titles, they retained their belts. This was a tremendous match. And it wasn't long. It was a 10-minute match, but it was a tremendous fucking tag match. It lived up to the hype. And just PCO scares the ever-living shit out of me. At 50 years old, he's taking spots you don't need to take.
Can you tell what the Scottish people were chanting after like PCO did the sit up after the double power, like the power bomb to the outside? Because I think people want to hear that.
Oh, what the fuck was it? See, this is my problem. I fucking blank on shit.
Remember what I said? What my reaction was when I saw it. I messaged you. It was like, Taker who?
Oh yeah, Taker, who's she?
And then you said like the Scottish people behind you were doing the exact same thing. We're chanting who's Taker who or something like that.
Oh no, yeah, it wasn't Taker who. They were yeah, what the fuck were they doing? Oh man, I'm trying shit. No, it was something similar. Yeah, I'm fucking blanking on it. But no, but basically they were doing Taker Who. But yeah, anyway, but still, it's like thing where it's like he's doing all this crazy shit, and it's like the moonsault I get. Because it's like you could fucking get out of that safely, but a fucking power bomb with no give on the floor mats, which they're padded floors, but you're still getting the wind knocked out of you.
Well, what did you think of his entrance with Destro?
Taker who? Oh man! I swear I saw something somewhere at a Rob Zombie concert.
That's good. That's good.
But man, it's just I'm happy they got Destro on the show with him because you guys gotta watch the fucking videos of him on YouTube with him and Destro. Those things are fucking great. But like there was one yesterday. They did a video yesterday, and this is all I'll say is, do you ever remember the video that went around from like WWF New York back in like the Attitude Era, where a little kid's trying to get the a toy from a crane machine, and then Kane
just like punches through the glass.
They tweaked it a little bit, but they recreated that video with PCO.
Wait, is this a new video?
Yeah, this is a new video from last night.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they recreated it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but
that's good. I like when you do like WWE doesn't even do callbacks anymore.
Yeah, they don't do cool little vignettes like that, but yeah, right after the finish happened, fucking within around the same hour, which was fucking just total fucking coincidence, you had Bret Hart incident at the Hall of Fame, and then within a shoot, which we learned was a work, turned into a shoot because Bozo and Casserole can't fucking get it right. They come out and attack the fucking Briscoes. It was supposed to be an angle that they were trying to make look like a shoot. And it wound up being one anyway because they're fucking clumsy assholes.
I think they were drunk. That's what I think happened. I think they were drinking legitimately during the show.
You might be right on that.
They got drunk and like ended up, because I think it was supposed to be them. They were supposed to. One of them was supposed to grab onto one of the Briscoes, but I think they came in too late because I think the whole situation with the GOD was supposed to have their whole thing, and then they were supposed to leave, and I think Cass or Casserole and Bozo were supposed to like grab onto one of the Briscoes and just like kind of like rob them a little bit in the corner, and then the cameras are supposed to like go on to them. It's like my whole thing is you had several people that were just released by WWE. If you were gonna think about it like this. A better example of what they could have done. Ring of Honor goes and they sign what the hell is it? Ty Dillinger, and you just have him. You have him with a sign that just says 10, and you're like, what? He has like a mask on or something. It just says 10, and he goes and he jumps into the crowd and whacks one of the Briscoes or one of the Usos in the back with the sign that just says perfect 10, and then he pulls the freaking thing off and it's like Ty Dillinger. The fucking crowd would have went ballistic.
They would see the 10 and they would fucking mark out because they know who it is. Oh yeah, they could have did something better with a better talent. And the thing is, and see, but that's why when I was talking about it was, I'm one of those people too where it's like, it takes me a little bit to realize when something's a shoot because it's pro wrestling. It really is. It's like, to me, it takes me a little bit. And it was like, for me, it was like, I still had this thought. I was like, fuck, I hope this doesn't turn into them trying to get signed. I hope it's not a thing. And I'm still kind of worried because Cass and them were still cutting promos on the fucking Briscoes. Cass just did a promo yesterday on them, or on Easter, I should say. He did a promo with them on Easter, and it was like, okay, please, Ring of Honor, come to your fucking senses.
No, I really think they stopped. From what I'm hearing is somebody tried to bring them in. They were supposed to do this, and this was supposed to be their big thing, and the crowd reaction wasn't into it, and they booed them intensely, which they were expecting that it was going to be a positive crowd reaction, like people were going to pop, and people were just more annoyed than anything else because you hear everyone in the arena, myself included, chanting "Fuck you, Enzo." So, to be honest, and then going back and rewatching it, yeah, you could tell it turned into a shoot. It was a work that I think they got too overzealous, and then that's when you saw Bully Ray come running down, and the security had to get involved because they were fucking actually throwing punches by that point. So I don't like, from what I'm hearing, it doesn't seem like they're going to be signed. I don't even know what they would be using them for, to be honest. And then there's other better talent.
They wanted to increase viewership, and
there's better WWE talent that's been released that you can pick up for peanuts.
Exactly.
Ty Dillinger is going to be on the circuit. You're going to have who else got released? Because there was a big exodus like
Kenta.
A couple of weeks back. Huh?
Kenta.
Yeah.
Dude, and he was in Ring of Honor many times. He would come back like a fucking god.
Exactly.
He would treat
just
like a
imagine
god
that
there
if they had been the guys that had jumped the Briscoes, they were a tag team.
Oh, that would be fucking sick. That would be sick. But no, again, it's a thing where and I'm gonna say this, and then this is it on my part. Told me this Enzo shit, and then eventually we gotta fucking skedaddle. But I was gonna say this whole honestly because I don't want to come out here and I don't mind fucking just saying this. I know family members and friends of Enzo. It's a Jersey, whatever. Yeah, I know people that know Enzo. I know people that are family of Enzo. And with all due respect, I say this as a pure fan. The guy's a fucking embarrassment to what I love. He is. It does nothing to do with of who he is as a person. I don't know who Eric Arndt is. Okay, I don't need to know. I'm saying this as a spectator. I'm not a fan. I used to be optimistic, and I thought that there was potential, but the guy never fucking saw, and Cass as well, never saw it as a thing of let's bust her ass in the ring. Sure, I'm not saying that they didn't fucking try, but the thing was they didn't want to excel. They didn't want to get better. They thought, okay, where we at is where we're content at in the ring. Let's just fucking be, And again, I'm not saying you have to do outside moonsaults. I never say that. What I'm saying is they never made it apparent to, seem like they respect the business. They made it always apparent of we're in it because we watched it when it was cool, and we want to be cool along with what we saw 20 years ago. And it seems like there's no true fucking love the way that, like, a lot of these other guys that get into the business love wrestling. It's not always about the Rock and Austin and shit like that. It's about the actual craft of it. And the thing is, yes, they got into WWE, but Cass had a little bit of a different path. He actually was doing local independents in New York. Enzo got into it by chance, with no wrestling ability, never made it apparent to go to a wrestling school, and a lot of people
Can I say something about Enzo?
Disrespect for him for that.
Can I just say something? Put it this way: I don't think he should have been a wrestler per se. I think he has a good. He's able to shoot a good promo.
Why couldn't have he been the next Captain Lou or Jimmy Hart or something along those lines?
Exactly, Jimmy Hart. That's what. But you know what? You can't even do that because there's no refinement to his craft. There's no him looking at the other guys and knowing what he's talking about, because this is the same guy who, when King Kong Bundy died, thought he was George the Animal Steel. So you can't even do that. So you're doing. And that's why you could do promos with maybe Kurt, but even then, you can't even trust the guy to do a standard promo with that.
And he's a good bullshitter. I listened to his shoot interview with Feinstein. I listened to the clips of his shoot. He's a good bullshitter. He could pretend, and this is why I think he's bullshitting. He could sit there and go, yeah, I know Dusty Rhodes, and I know this and that. Would if you really have known Dusty Rhodes' craft, if he didn't have you sitting in classes watching tapes when he was alive down in Florida, I highly fucking doubt that he grew a love and respect for Dusty Rhodes because Dusty Rhodes helped him. I really doubt he would have went back and watched NWA from fucking 83, 84. And he probably still fucking only saw a clip of it and went, oh yeah, that's Dusty Rhodes, bro. He still doesn't fucking care from what the outsider view is. And the thing is, people could go, oh no, you don't get it. Prove me wrong. Prove me and other people wrong, because what we see is what we're getting. And that's why none of us fucking care as wrestling fans. We don't want to see these guys. If promoters feel like
you have so many different guys that are in the business right now that have taken things in their craft, in their pro wrestling, in their promos, in the very way that they dress and they have their gear. I've taken bits and pieces from guys that came before them. Velveteen Dream is a perfect example of a guy who's looking at stuff from years past and picking out the best pieces of every single. You go and you look at his wrestling style. He looks like a Rick Rude, Shawn Michaels, a Macho Man, and he's doing promo styles like guys from the WWF and WCW, and he doesn't feel like a current wrestler. He feels like you picked a guy, like a Prince fan from the 1980s, who just happened to be like an NWA wrestler.
But the thing with Velveteen is there's shades of so many people. There's shades of Jimi Hendrix. There's shade of Prince. There's shades of Rick Rude and Macho Man and Shawn Michaels and what the fuck? I'm drawing a blank here. What the fuck was that other musician? Fuck. He even has a little bit of, even has a little bit of like a Freddie Mercury-ish to him too. But that's not who I was gonna say. Oh damn it! The fucking. He was another '80s guy. Or is Sammy? The fuck. He has a little bit of a fucking a little bit of like a demeanor of Little Richard to him too, like a little bit. If you get what I'm saying when I say that,
a little bit. Yeah, I can
he takes so many details very little to the fucking pinky, and he just morphs it into what he is. He takes a little Hogan. There's the thing, and that's, to me, that's what makes a great talent, is you can't pinpoint. You could take shades, like a Steve Austin. You took shades of Dr. David Schultz. You took shades of what fucking Sandman was in ECW, and he took it and made it his own. The Rock took shades of what he learned as, you know, he was watching his grandparents and his uncles and his dad, and he took it and made it his own. That's what makes people fucking stand out. When you have someone who looks like they're too much of a copy, yeah, it's like, okay, we've seen this before, but the guys, like, we've seen guys, plenty of guys, like, fucking in Enzo and Cass, who've done their shtick that are way fucking better. Billy Gunn and Road Dogg, you know, the New Day, Nash and Hall. This has been done before by better people who can fucking look more believable and more polished in the ring. These guys are fucking, they're a bunch of fucking bozos. So, but anyway, folks, it's about that time. You know, we're getting a little pressed here. So, Pat, give us an intro, or an outro. I mean, get us an outro. And while he does that,
I'm gonna get a good one.
I'm
gonna get a good one.
All right. And with that said, go to www.kayfabetalkradio.com, where all our archives are at. We're also on iTunes, Stitcher. Even though Stitcher has I have to try to find a way to fucking contact them. Spreaker, of course. YouTube, follow us on YouTube. You know, don't think we forgot about it. Search Kayfabe Talk Radio on YouTube. Facebook.com / Kayfabe Talk Radio. Twitter's Eric the Red 211, ERICTAGRED 211. Mr. underscore Boneslow for your gripes and complaints on the show, and also very glad to have the re-emergence of J.R. Earls within the swing. Don't think we ever forgot about him. J.R. Earls Art on Twitter as well. And the Fantastic Floor podcasts. You know, Wednesday nights, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Look up...
You want to know what the fantastic thing about it is?
What?
Earls can step on it without falling through.
Welcome back, Bubby.
Welcome back.
But for those that want to check out that show, check it out on the Third Floor Comics and Collectibles page on Facebook. They go Facebook Live. Like I said, Eastern Time, 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday nights. But yeah. With that said, we'll catch y'all next week. Much love and kudos to everybody. Till next time. Y'all get better, y'all come back now, you hear? Keep it kayfabe.
Bitches.
And pull yourself up a chair. Let the fun begin. It's time to let down your hair. TV sure excited. Those fans have been invited. The wacky TV playhouse. There's a crazy rhythm coming from Puppet Land. Dirty to a cool cat, Chicky Baby, or the Puppet Bear. You got a couple of talking pets, and the genie who's grand wish. Finally exclusive at TV Playhouse. Chloe spinning, Mr. Windows winning, course Harry's flying ball. Salvador singing, the picture phone is ringing, and the dinosaur family goes die. Mr. Kite soaring, Conky still soaring, there's a flash in magic speed. The countess is a classy, big, kind of sassy, a nutty or establishment you've never seen. Spend the day with TV and you'll see what we mean.